Hi, I'm Sarah from the Upcoming. Such a pleasure to be able to speak to you today. I just saw the film this morning, so I'm still reeling from it. Like, huge congratulations. One absolute smash hit you produced there. But maybe for people who haven't seen it yet, can you just give us your own brief introduction? What can they expect when they watch this incredible Puss in Boots sequel?
What can they expect? I hope it's not what they expected. It's more. Honestly, when we approach this story, the it's been over a decade since the last time Puss in Boots was on the big screen, and we really wanted to make sure we not only deliver on everything people love about Shrek and about Puss in Boots, but went to some new territory, both in the visual style and also emotionally. That this is quite the roller coaster ride. It's a comedy, it's an adventure, but it's also a big, meaningful story. And so I hope people are pleasantly surprised.
And yeah, just mentioning that the fact that it makes me feel quite old to think, it's over 10 years just from the sequel, from the original Puss in Boots, never mind kind of the original Shrek films. But it was a long time in the making. There were some complications there. What was the journey like to finally seeing it come to fruition?
Yeah, I think the studio DreamWorks has really been determined to make sure it's like they didn't just do another sequel, but that they really delivered on this ambitious story. And I think part of the trying to get it right was finding a way to tell this story that's based in the this premise, which is a lovely, absurd premise of a cat on his ninth life. The idea of a cat having nine lives and then being down to his last is like a fairy tale. But the challenging thing, the ambitious thing, is what's underneath that, which is it's a story about a character realizing he has one life to live, much like everybody in the world who's gifted with just one life, and really making sure it lands emotionally that life is special and who we share it with is important. And so I think that's been the thing to try and crack. We always knew we could bring the comedy, but to make sure the heart is paired with it.
And what to me just seems so clever about the whole thing is that it's very much in the Shrek universe. It's got that irreverent sense of humor. It's fitting in with all the sort of characters in the world that we know and love, but it feels completely fresh. And you've brought in, this element of the good, the bad, and the ugly, the kind of Western sort of storyline. And then also, like you said, the animation, it feels slightly different from what we've seen in Shrek. And I know, like the bad guys, and, this more kind of like painterly approach. So maybe you can just talk about, those different decisions you made and how it all just works together so well.
Yeah, our production designer, Nate Ragg, really kind of like found this look of a fairy tale painting. And it was just such a great opportunity to go, let's immerse the audience into a fairy tale world with the style of the lighting of the environment, but also the animation style is really taking advantage of traditional CG, and then also traditional, going back to handheld drawing, or like hand-drawn animation, and kind of marrying those two to find this totally immersive fairy tale style for the whole movie. And really wanted to make sure everything we were doing supported this concept that Puss is living in a fairy tale, but it's a journey of him to discover a more grounded life, and being able to use different kind of tools to tell that story is, I think, is what is really resonating with audiences.
Definitely. And, all-star cast. We'll see Antonio Banderas and Salma Hayek. I didn't even recognize it was Florence Pugh, who was Goldilocks, until I saw the credits. And Ray Winston, Olivia Colman. What is it like having all these voice actors? I don't know. Obviously, when you're doing animation, they're not always in the same room. But what an incredible cast to have as part of your production.
Oh, it was awesome. So Antonio Banderas coming back, Salma Hayek coming back, and like the chemistry they have together is amazing. And then, like you're mentioning, our additions, these new characters we brought into the Puss in Boots world, Goldilocks and the Three Bears crime family, which was originally inspired by kind of like a Guy Ritchie-esque smash and grab family, and be able to cast, Florence Pugh as Goldilocks, Olivia Colman as Mama Bear, Samson Kayo as Baby Bear, and then Ray Winstone as Papa Bear. It's like the ultimate, like the chemistry they have, even though they weren't recording together, is amazing. And it's really because they didn't just show up and record the lines, but we would improvise together. We would, when we were talking through the story with each actor, get their point of view and rewrite according. And it was these conversations that you can really feel the passion that everybody's brought to this project, that just like it shows up on the big screen.
And maybe it is kind of the fact that it's based, on this kind of like Western kind of atmosphere, but it does feel so cinematic. And, there's me sat there as a 37-year-old, and, I felt a bit afraid at some point. I was tearing up at another point. I was laughing out loud. Like, the fact that you're able to achieve that with an animation just feels really incredible. And it can appeal to all those different generations. Was that something also very important to you?
Yes. It's wonderful hearing that was your experience. That was our goal from the beginning of this ambitious story about what a well-lived life can be. We wanted to make sure it wasn't just a comedy adventure, but that it goes well beyond that, well deeper than that. And there were these emotions we wanted Puss in Boots and the audience to experience, going from joy to fear to trust, hope, and then gratitude. Like these things that all kind of spell like the full spectrum of what life can be. And so it was really meaningful to us to craft moments throughout the story that takes you on this journey, but that leaves you with this uplifting, joyful appreciation of life. That was our goal. And so hearing and seeing people react, that the movie is fully hitting them that way, is just so it makes me so happy.
Do you have a favorite moment, when you watch it, because obviously it must be such a long process, so many different factors that go into it. And then when you see the final thing up there on the big screen, do you have a favorite bit, or maybe that's a hard thing for you to say?
Oh, it's, what? A favorite moment for me is, and not to get into any spoilers, but Goldie hugging her family. I'll just say that. The chemistry that Florence Pugh brought to the scenes with, like, say, Baby Bear, Samson Kayo, and Olivia Colman's point of view as a mother, and then Ray Winstone as this warm, like, papa, and like there's this idea of a family can look so many different ways. There's no such thing as a perfect family, but there is such a thing as your family, and that can be, biological or a found family. And that's a powerful theme in this story. And so there's a key moment in the movie when a hug happens that I'm still really proud of, that the honesty in it, and the animators did a beautiful job on it.
And I'm almost out of time, so just very quickly, I mean, the accolade nominations are just stacking up, including an Academy Award. So I'm wondering how that feels, but also, not, again, no spoilers, but, are we hopefully seeing a reopening kind of the Shrek franchise? Do you think this is kind of, a door into that, back into that world?
I hopefully, right? That's, really we are, in a big way. We're like, Puss in Boots is back, and hopefully the Shrek fairy tale world is back. Beyond that, I don't know, but I think the way back to how critics and also audiences have received the movie and this outpouring of love and excitement, I think there's a good chance.
Yeah, and you're not in the game, obviously, to get those awards, but it definitely helps, doesn't it? And I guess it gives a bigger platform for your film, but also it's just, to all the artists and all the people involved, it's just a great vindication of their efforts.
You know what? It is. It's especially everybody on this crew of over 400 people put like all their blood, sweat, and tears into this movie. They brought so much passion to every frame, and being able to see everyone, including the critics' reactions and the nominations, it is truly like rewarding for the entire crew here at DreamWorks.
Thank you. I'm out of time, but I cannot wait for everyone else to get the chance to see this incredible film and be blown away like I have been. So thanks a lot, Louis.
Oh, thank you so much.